Hello everybody and welcome to That's Football. The Super League returns and football fans need to be very aware that this will not go away and is ultimately about globalising football and greed. They want Chelsea to be playing Real Madrid in Abu Dhabi. They want Man United to be playing Real Madrid in a home game in New York. This is what they want. And if you're a global fan, that sounds very appealing. I'm not going to knock you, but this will be the future of football. This is where they want to take it. They want to take that game to New York. They want Real Madrid's home game against Barcelona to be in Canada because they want to sell that in Canada, like an F1 weekend where you can get brands specifically in and make a big event of it and sell merchandise and have different brands for different games and just make loads and loads and loads of money, globalise and commercialise football to a level that we've never seen before. This is what it's all about. And look, this is the headline it's coming out. It's coming in from that the Super League backers have revealed today that they want to launch a new version of the project that crashed two years ago, a multi-division competition of 60 to 80 teams with no permanent members and a minimum of 14 games per week. This is being run by A22, which is the Madrid-based company of the Super League, and timed coincides with a new push from the three remaining rebels, Real Madrid, Barcelona and Juventus. You know what? This is something that the football fans of the world and of specifically the Premier League need to be very, very careful of. This is a foot in the door. This whole league, it'll only be 14 games a season. We don't want to replace domestic football. They do want to replace domestic football. They want to turn the Premier League into the Carabao Cup. The Premier League and the way that the English system works is a star. It is the Super League. There is a Super League. It already exists. It's the Premier League. The Premier League, just because it's English, is not. I'm not being biased here. The Premier League is the best league in the world because the distribution of money and the aspirability for teams from the Championship to get in there, like the Brentfords, is fantastic. Yes, you've still got the big teams. Man City have won a lot of titles. Man United in the past, Arsenal, Chelsea, even Liverpool. Spurs would like to do it, but Newcastle, they've got wealth, and that wealth has come in from investors who want a piece of the Premier League pie because the Premier League is the most watched, the most lucrative league in the world. It is the Super League. So why is a Super League trying to derail the Premier League? Because everybody's bloody jealous of it. They can't deal with it. In January, the spend from the Premier League eclipsed every other league in Europe combined. So what we spent, you can add up La Liga and everyone else, doesn't even get close to what was spent in the Premier League. We are absolutely dominate. We have a monopoly in relation to the Premier League because it's the most competitive and it's the richest. And it grinds the gears of Real Madrid and Barcelona and every other club because they're like, we need to create something to defeat the Premier League. But we don't want the Premier League to be defeated. If you think about a Super League, and what they aspire to is not 14 games a season, that's a foot in the door. Oh, we'll do it in the midweek, we'll do 14 games a season, and you can carry on with the Premier League. They know exactly what they're doing. The minute you get Man United playing Real Madrid twice a season, home and away, and you can move it to New York and you can move it to Delhi, is the minute that becomes more lucrative in their mind than the Premier League. And that's the end of the Premier League, because what they'll do is they'll say, yeah, next year we're going to move it from 14 games to 30 games and we're going to play at the weekends and the Premier League will have to play in midweek. And then Man United, who are playing in the Super League because it's more lucrative for them, will start going, well, Varane and Martinez will be playing against Real Madrid and Barcelona in the Super League, and we use Maguire and Lindelof in the Premier League. And then suddenly the Premier League becomes like the Carabao Cup. And that's the plan. They're never going to tell you their proper plan from the start because they've got to get it in. And they know what football fans did last time. I don't know what Real Madrid fans think. At the end of the day, and this could be brilliant for Man City, by the way, because Manchester City are not going to get any big fine or relegation from the Premier League if the Premier League are scared of Man City going, we want to go in the Super League. This could be a get out of jail card for Man City. So, they've got teeth. This Super League thing has got teeth. Perez is the brainchild behind it at Real Madrid, apparently. He doesn't like losing and he's not going to lose. But the bottom line is here. Football wants to globalise. Whoever's going to buy Man United, whoever's going to buy Liverpool, whoever owns Arsenal now, deep down, they tried to get a Super League. Not the new owners of Man United, but the new owners of Man United may well want that. They may well be projecting buying Man United for 6 billion because they know it'll be worth 10 billion as soon as the Super League starts. The commercialisation and globalisation of football is to basically shit on the local fan. That's what it is. You know, Man United at home to Liverpool, they don't care about the 60, 70, 80,000 fans that will attend that game. They would like to take that to New York. They would like to take it to Delhi. They would like to take it to Sydney. That's what they would like to do because they can make more money out of it. You will sell those games out, and you'll be able to create unique weekends around that where brands and sponsors can pay to be part of it, and you make these events and you get bloody Ollie Murs singing on the Saturday night and he sells it out. It's all entertainment. It's all about globalization. It's like the F1. The F1, they could do every race at the same track. They don't. They go around the world. Cost loads of money to go around the world because every one of those events, and they keep adding more and more, makes them a shitload of money in sponsorship and everything else. And that's what football wants to do. It's the next big earner. The sad thing is, what I always wanted, and we do not have, is that we have the Premier League absolutely smashing it out of the park. Amazing league, competitive. Look at Brighton and Brentford and Fulham this year. Liverpool and Chelsea are mid-table. You know, Everton are beating Arsenal. Leeds are going to United and getting a draw. It's just such a great competitive league, and that's because clubs like Leeds can go and buy people like McKennie and Tyler Adams and, you know, other players, and Everton can buy Atletico Madrid players. It's because the league has been run so well and it's distributed so well and the support is great. I mean, the Championship crowds in England are unbelievable. The Championship average attendances competes with some top tier leagues in Europe. The system within England isn't perfect, but it's certainly the one that works. What Real Madrid and Barcelona will not do is replicate the Premier League with La Liga. They could create that model. They could distribute the money more fairly so that Valencia becomes stronger, Atletico Madrid becomes stronger, Sevilla becomes stronger. But they never have. They've always hoovered up the money because we're the big attractors. And the Premier League didn't do that. The Premier League distributed some of the wealth to make other clubs wealthy, to make the league more competitive. Serie A could have done it. Bayern Munich, they take everybody's best player. How the hell is that ever going to be competitive? I think Bayern Munich have won the Bundesliga for about 50 years in a row. The reason these clubs and presidents want Super Leagues is because they're jealous of the Premier League, and they know the only way they can generate that now, quickly, is to create a Super League with European clubs because they've messed up their own domestic leagues. And that's really, really sad. It's really, really sad. I would love to see La Liga as competitive as the Premier League, and Serie A as competitive, and the Bundesliga as competitive, and the French League as competitive, and the Eredivisie as competitive. But all those other leagues have failed where the Premier League has succeeded. And I think fans need to be wide open to this. You know, eyes wide open. If you're thinking, oh, Mark, it's only going to be a few games midweek, you're so naive. You're so naive. They came in with the original Super League plan 2 years ago and they didn't read the room. They've gone off for 2 years and they've gone, this is where we made a mistake. This is where we told them too much too soon. We basically told them that the European Club wasn't going to happen. European Cup was dead, and that your domestic leagues were going to end up like a reserve league. And that's what caused it. What we need to do is we need to build it first, make it exist, and then we'll take them out. And that's what they're trying to do. We're only 14 games a season, and it's not going to be competitive. It's going to be competitive, and it's going to be fair, and it'll only be 14 games a season. As soon as it's created and it's up and running, it's game over. It's like a cancer cell, isn't it? It will just grow and grow and grow, and it will destroy. Maybe some people like the idea of it, but it will destroy what we have, especially in relation to the Premier League and the English football system. It will just die a death completely, and you will get to a point where what's left of the Premier League will be Liverpool against Man United playing on a Wednesday night with Liverpool picking their bench players and Man United picking their bench players because on the Saturday they're off to Delhi or they're off to Sydney to play Real Madrid or Barcelona, and that's the big event. And that's where we're heading with this, and it's very, very sad, and that's the future. It's just, I don't know whether there's football fan groups generally that want to get together and get lawyers and get some teeth and start fighting this, because I tell you what, there's a lot of money behind that, and a lot of the owners of your clubs will be behind it as well. They won't publicly say it because they made that mistake before, but this Super League is a pathway to a lot of people to make money, and that's what it's all about. It's very sad, and it will. I think it will take a lot to stop it, a lot to stop it. Get your comments in below, smash a like on the video, make sure you subscribe, and I'll speak to you all soon.